What is your weirdest experience while going to the gym? Red hoodie guy would come into the gym always wearing the same red hoodie. He would hit the treadmill at 10 miles per hour and just go. He could keep this pace for 30 minutes, but never seemed to get exhausted. Here's where it gets weird. He must have had headphones on under the hoodie, because he would air guitar and headbang the entire time. Imagine a guy running at full tilt while shredding on an air guitar, non-stop, for half an hour, not breathing heavily or grunting, before abruptly stopping and walking out of the gym. This man is an anime character. Video game character with the analog stick taped up. Saw a guy on a stair climber wearing sunglasses and a leather jacket. Good to know the font still takes care of himself. I try. I accidentally put my number code into another lock that was beside mine. Botched the last number and the lock actually opened. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same as my luggage code. I got literally flexed on. I saw a girl who I mistook as somebody I knew. Went to say hi. She was cool about it. Said it's happened before. Then a guy came over and said something going on here. And literally just flexed. I've never had a bad experience at the gym before, but this dude was above and beyond. Always see them together now. Dude must have some redeeming qualities about him. Maybe that was the first time they met, and she immediately fell in love with him due to how hard he flexed his muscle. The harder you flex, the harder you rip ass. I hate to run, but run about a mile a day at a 10 minimum/mile pace before I go and do weights. Like, I hate it so much I wish for a heart attack to take me away at about minute 4. Any case, the treadmills at our gyms have big timers on them that are easy to read. I get on the treadmill one day and see that the guy beside me is running a 5K preset on the machine and has been on for about 4 minutes. But he's going fast, like full out sprint. I punch in my 12 minutes 10-minute mile 2-minute cooldown and start to run. We finish at the same time. Dude ran a 5K in about 16 minutes. Full on sprint the whole time. I was just kinda in a daze thinking about it for the rest of my workout. I remember a guy would spit and lick his hands before lifting weights or using machines and wouldn't clean it afterwards. Then even weirder, he would straight up moan like he was peep while lifting the heavier weights. It was weird and gross. A guy at a very nice luxury gym was not just dropping his squats. He was actively throwing them up and letting them drop 4+ feet to the safety rack, causing a ridiculously loud sound and a crash. When I asked him to stop, he was extremely aggressive and rude and said he had been a member for 10 years. Management ended up kicking him out about 10 minutes later. Sir, we've only been open 5 years. Not sure about going to the gym, but while at the gym just a couple of weeks ago, this guy calls across the gym to another guy and says, "I can smell you from here. Do you play lacrosse?" To which he replied, "I played when I was younger." First guy says, "That's what I thought. You smell like dry cum." There were probably 12 people in the gym. So random. I'm losing my peep. That's a hilarious way to tell someone they stink. I was on the treadmill waiting for the only squat rack to open up. A guy was holding it up talking to some other guy, and they talked for like 15 minutes. I was about to ask if I could work, then they started praying. Other guy put his head down, and squat guy put his hands on other guy's shoulders and started praying and doing that loud huffing between sentences Southern Baptist preachers do. And then another guy walked up to get in on the action. At the loaded squat rack, I just went and worked my legs on the machines. Lord, bless these gains we are about to receive. Hallowed be thy gains. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Give us this day our daily way. And deliver us from carbs. Lead us not into CrossFit. Women. Old man jerking off in the shower. I don't use open locker rooms anymore. Did he dry his ballsack and taint with the hairdryer afterwards? All while completely naked, making eye contact with everyone in the locker room? Because if so, I think we went to the same gym. Why is this such a thing? I have never seen the hair dryers being used for anything except geriatric ball drying. The gym might as well just start calling them ball dryers. I mean, would you use it on your head after seeing it used for rolled ballsack? Back in the early 1980s and late 1970s, I used to work out a Gold's Gym in a western Canadian city. The gym was also the favorite workout spot for professional wrestlers when they were doing a gig in town. The weirdest thing was seeing how dramatically different some of these guys were in real life compared to their wrestling personas. One guy whose persona was of a British dock worker type would show up at the gym in a three-piece suit edit. No, he didn't work out in a suit and speaking the poshest of British accents, and was constantly giving other wrestlers investment and tax advice. Apparently he was an accountant as well. What was surprising was that some of them weren't faking it, but in real life they were as rude, selfish and ignorant as their characters. I also remember how sad was seeing how some of the older wrestlers were really suffering from dementia, probably cumulative effects of concussions, and were literally guided through everything by other wrestlers. Even simple things like getting dressed. I was impressed by the care some of these guys gave to their older colleagues who needed constant attention. However, the most interesting experience was Jess Ventura. Of course, when the wrestlers showed up, they were generally followed around by a horde of fans. Usually teenage boys. Some were hostile to their fans, telling them to FCK off. Others gave a quick acknowledgement and then moved on. However, Jess would spend an incredible amount of time with his fans, especially the younger ones, listening and talking to all of them with total attention. I remember seeing him trying to do leg presses while taking questions from a crowd of boys about what it means to be a man. Even back then, when he was just the heel Jess the Body, out of the ring, he showed that he understood the impact that he could have as a role model to young men and took it seriously. When he became governor of Minnesota, I was definitely not surprised. As a Minnesotan, we are kinda proud of Jess. Somehow he became our didn't peep it up, because he was smart enough to hire the right people and delegate correctly. Occasionally, I still hear him on 93X, our local rock station. I always like when he's on the show because he doesn't peep on his views. That and he was a goddamned sexual tyrannosaurus. There's this guy me and my old lifting partner used to call Asian guy. He's this guy that's like about 6'1", if I had to guess. Super lean. Widest lats and biggest traps I've ever seen. Anyway, I always used to look forward to watching him lift, and for a while would make sure I was scheduling when I got to the gym for when Asian guy got there, because for months at least 6 times a week he would exclusively train legs. And by exclusively train legs I mean he would be at the squat rack for no less than 3 hours. I'd always just kinda hang around to see if he would do anything else a little after my own workout, and for that period of time he never did. Until one day I was doing a push workout and was doing lateral raises. I was using 15s or something really light for a warm up, and between squat sets he came over to the dumbbells and repped out like 3 reps of 50 pounds lateral raises. So I looked at him weird, and he saw me and ran over to rep out another 5 reps of 365 pound squats. I was so stoked I saw him doing something other than squatting that I told my friend I saw Asian guy doing lat raises trying to one-up me, and he responded by saying he did the exact same thing to him with the exact same exercise. Anyway, after a few months he started doing an actual normal rotation of push-pull legs, which was far less entertaining, and somewhere along the way he started using locker number 69, which is the one I usually use. So I've started trying to go before he gets there. I miss Asian guy. Ran the treadmill next to a middle-aged man in a full Santa Claus outfit. Beard and all. It was February 21st. The woman who was hanging out in the locker room in her underwear She was there when I came in, and still there an hour later. Someone told me she was probably an IG model doing a selfie photoshoot. I'm pretty sure at the YMCA where I used to work there were old dudes who came just to be naked in the locker room. There was no sauna or steam room in the locker room. Just locker/changing area, bathroom, sinks, showers. I'd get there an hour or so before my shift lifeguarding to work out. Old naked dude in the locker room. I'd finish my workout and go to shower and change into my lifeguard stuff. Same old naked dude still there. I'd go to the locker room to pee during my break. Still same old naked dude there. We'd be closing up and I'd have to go clear out any stragglers in the men's locker room. That old dude is finally putting his clothes on to leave. It was really peep weird. What the peep? What do people do naked in there? I mean, any guesses? I can't make any guesses. But I can reconfirm that for some reason old dudes just cannot get enough of being naked as peep in gym locker rooms. I do not get it. The last gym I was at had one particular overweight old guy who for some reason got his jollies off slowly walking back and forth from end to end of the locker room. Over and over and over again. All kinds of naked. Why? Yes. And they're everywhere. The last few gyms I've been to have been in fairly young, yuppie type areas. Walk around the gym and you don't see anyone over 50. Doesn't matter. Half the guys in the locker room are old dudes walking around naked. No idea where they come from. Gym locker rooms are old naked man spawners. Gotta make sure no blocks have lower than 8 light intensity. I was leaving the other day for the showers and a girl, maybe 21, never spoken to her before, comes off the treadmill to speak to me, and the following conversation ensued. Her. Are you going back to your car? Me. Yes. Her. Are you parked at the one you have to pay for? Me. You have to pay for all of them. Her. Is it the one outside? Not multi-stories. Me. There's 4 that are outside. Her. Is it far? Me. Explain the location to try and progress the conversation to a conclusion. Her. Okay then. Don't worry. Me. Bye. No context. No nothing. To this day I can't figure out what her angle was, but it was very weird. Edit. Seems she was either flirting, getting stalked or trying to find the driver she hit. I'll take those odds. I'm going to bestow upon you a simple phrase that will immeasurably improve the quality of your life. Why do you ask?